Hi, I'm Bill Bishop, President of the History Hanger Society and webmaster for the History Hanger webpage. On June 2, 1943, Flying Officer Robert William Clarke of 400 Squadron was killed following a dogfight in a crash near the small town of Epinay, France. He was 20 years old. Even though they were under German occupation, the 600-plus citizens of Epinay rallied to give him a funeral and buried him in their churchyard on June 4, 1943. Since then, the citizens have provided perpetual care for his grave, added his name to their cenotaph in the center of town, and held numerous parades and receptions over the years to honor his memory and service. The citizens also recovered and preserved a number of artifacts and personal items from the wreckage of Flying Officer Clarke's aircraft. The townspeople feel it is time for the artifacts and personal effects to be returned to the family. To this end, a repatriation ceremony is being planned for May of 2015.
Bill, how did this get started?
About 2.5 years ago, I got a message from the mayor of the town of Epinay. He left on the guest book for Flying Officer Clarke, asking if we knew of any living relatives, because he had a number of artifacts and personal items along with a photo and things that he wanted to turn over to the family. It was then that I requested all of the information he had, and I was amazed, Eric, at the care and the ongoing honoring of Flying Officer Clarke that the townspeople of this little French town, Epinay, had done.
I understand your plans include a contingent from the 400 Squadron at the ceremony itself. How many people are you planning on taking over?
Well, we're targeting to take 10 people. The critical two, obviously, are Flying Officer Clarke's niece, Samantha Hutton is her married name, and her husband, Luke, both of whom speak French. And Luke is an interesting gentleman. He's a well-known Canadian director, having directed quite a number of TV series and documentary films, and has offered to assist you because you would be included in that list as our videographer.
Bill, I understand the plans call for you, Gary Alexander, and myself to travel on from Epinay.
We would expand our trip a little after Epinay by visiting England and visiting all of the air bases there that 400 Squadron served in during the war, and get some current video, all of the military cemeteries where our other fallen are, so we would have very up-to-date information for our honor roll page.
Well, Bill, this is obviously close to the hearts of many people. What's it going to cost?
Well, we have worked a pretty tight budget, and we're looking at having to raise about $30,000. That would cover the airfare for the 10 people, our ground transportation, that would include the hotels, all of the meals, and a lot of equipment rental. And there are other sundry expenses.
Well, $30,000 is a lot of money, Bill. Is there a minimum donation amount?
No, we're not setting any minimum. What we're suggesting, and we feel most people would be comfortable with, would be $20. They can fill in the amount. We're recommending $20, but we'll take $5, $10, anything will help. And of course, if somebody can afford a little more, we deeply appreciate it.
So, what's going to happen with the artifacts, Bill? Have you talked with the family yet?
The people of Epinay have been so kind and have looked after Flying Officer Clarke that I think the family is leaning towards leaving the artifacts with them in the town, because they're creating a small museum where there would be a case and these things would be on display. And we think because of the efforts that they've put in over the years, that it's an appropriate home. I would ask people to consider that for the price of coffee for a half a month, you can really do something important for 400 Squadron and the family of Flying Officer Clarke.